Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the second episode of The Walking Dead Season 8. First, in this one, we're going to give our thoughts on the premiere's ratings compared to prior seasons for Season 8, as well as afterwards, our thoughts on whether or not we think Gabriel could make it out of this alive, could survive this ordeal being stuck in there with the Saviors. And spoiler warning if you guys have not seen the premiere yet for The Walking Dead Season 8. So this one we'll start with, because I always like to do this. I know some people are like, who cares, Trev? But I do. I like to see, where interest is at for Walking Dead and, what people are thinking, what people like, what people don't. And really, the only way to see that is to see how many people are actually watching the show or actually tuning into the show, care about the show, want to watch the show, and see what happens next. If they just don't care and they drop off or they don't watch, then that basically means that the show is you could draw a few things from it. You could say maybe the show isn't as good as it was. You could say maybe I don't know, people are getting burned out on The Walking Dead. There's a lot of possibilities here, but I like to review the ratings and see kind of where each season's at, and I know some of you guys like to hear about it as well too. So two people messaged me about this. Well, there's probably others too. There's hundreds of comments a day. I go through them as best I can, but I can't see them all. Andy G says, The Walking Dead Season 8 premiere receives a 11.4 million viewers for the episode, the lowest since the Season 2 premiere. I still have faith that the show will be back up there again. What are your thoughts, Trev? And then Mike said, hey, Trev, The Walking Dead Season 8 premiere had 11.43 million viewers, the lowest it's been for a premiere in 5 years. With a continued drop in ratings, what are your thoughts on the future of The Walking Dead? And to compare, okay, so this is Season 8, so 11.43 million. Season 7's premiere did 17 million, but that was because of the cliffhanger, and, there was a lot of buzz around the show at that time to find out who Negan was going to kill. Then there was Season 6 premiere with 14.6 million, which is really good. Season 5 premiere with 17.29 million, which is actually the biggest ever, which is No Sanctuary, which was kind of also a cliffhanger. It was cliffhanger-y. Rick and the others stuck in the train cart and then having to escape at Terminus, and it was an awesome premiere for sure. Then we had Season 4 with 16.11 million, which is actually really high considering it's only the fourth season of the show. And then Season 3. So Season 3 was at 10.87. So 5 years. So Season 8 to Season 3, this one is close to the same level that it premiered at in Season 3. So it's close to the same amount of buzz that they had around the show in the third season, which is kind of crazy to think about it. Because Season 1, the show's getting built. It's only at like 5 million. Really, the only people who are watching it are zombie fans, people that heard about it at that point. People that read the comics are checking it out. Season 2, continuing from Season 1, more people checking it out, word of mouth getting around. People are like, oh, this show's really great, you got to watch this. And then Season 3 is when it kind of booms up to almost 11, and then from there on, Season 4 booming again. So Season 3 really did a damn job. Season 3 went from 11 million from the start to when Season 4 premiered, 16 million. So there was a lot of people that jumped on board at that time, and then peaking around Season 5, 6, somewhere around there. 7, a big boom at the start for the cliffhanger, and then kind of fizzling out. And then this season, right around where the interest was, at around the same time as the end of Season 7. So Season 7 ends off with 11.31 million, and Season 8 premieres with 11.44 million. So the question, of course, becomes, what can we interpret this as, or where are we seeing interest for Walking Dead right now? Well, I would say, considering it's a season premiere, considering you had the trailer, and it was big at Comic-Con, it was one of the biggest trailers to hit there for a TV series, probably the biggest. Considering where Season 7 was at, it hasn't really, even though it's a premiere, that's kind of low for a premiere considering the average episodes tend to be less than that. So if you had a finale 11.3, premiere 11.4, afterwards you tend to think it's going to drop down a bit. So we actually may see lower ratings this season than we did for Season 7, which is pretty surprising, for the show. But I guess it's the ramifications of Season 7. It's the follow through from Season 7 into the next year. Whereas if you look at Season 3 and how fast paced it was and how crazy it was and everything, you really got more people. You start the season off at 10. Next season, 16 come back. So that's a really good marker, I think, that people are really digging the show, really liking the show at that point, is when they come back the following year. So I guess this would be kind of a follow through, or this is the best way I guess I would understand it right now, is that it's probably a follow through from season 7 coming into season 8. After season 7, only this amount of people were excited to see season 8. So about the same amount of people, roughly stabilized, but not gaining, maybe losing a little bit. But we'll have to see in the next few episodes, and of course I'll update you guys and let you guys know where we stand after episodes 2, 3, and 4. So it looks like most likely we're going to see similar type of interest for Walking Dead as we had in roughly season 3. So that's just the situation. What can we chalk it up to? Was season 7 really that bad? Was it really that dry partway through? Well, a lot of people certainly seem to think so. Personally, to me, I just think it's because the show's been going on so long. I think the people are desensitized to character deaths now. I think they understand that that's The Walking Dead. Casual viewers especially, if someone would say to them like, oh my god, I can't believe they killed off so-and-so in The Walking Dead, that person's going to be like, well, yeah, it's The Walking Dead. I've seen, 6, 7 seasons of this, and they always kill off people, and they always that's kind of the game. So it's like it took a while, I think, for people to kind of catch on that, yes, characters are going to die, and eventually become probably desensitized to that, kind of the shock value, the character death value to it, for that to drive it forward, with season 7 being a little bit dry, probably causing people to, quite a few viewers to lose interest. But that said, the future of the show, which is what Andy wanted to know about, and also Mike really too, and a lot of you guys, I think it'll probably be fine. 10, 11 million views an episode is still a humongous rating for any series. It is a huge show, even still. If it's not getting 15 million an episode, okay. If it's getting 10, fine. Also, the years are going by. As some people said, people are recording things. People are, watching things on the internet. They're, torrenting things. They're doing stuff like this. So there's a lot of different possibilities as to why as well, too. Not that many people may actually watch it live on AMC as they did 5 years ago. So maybe it is a little bit better than it was in season 3, but maybe it's just that all these other things, DVRing and all this stuff coming in, TiVoing and all this, 5 years later, a lot more people have the tech to be able to do this kind of stuff, so maybe that has a lot to do with it as well. But, it's a little bit lower than what I thought. I thought it'd probably premiere at about 14 million, but I did feel like this year there was not as much buzz around the premiere as there was last year, for sure. And some people, they wanted to argue that. They wanted to say, well, it's all out war. There's going to be more buzz for the show this year. The results show that's not true. We were right that there wasn't as much buzz around Walking Dead as there was in season 7's premiere, and that is for sure. So it's what it is. So you guys can write your comments below. How do you interpret these numbers for Walking Dead? What do you think? Just what do you think? What do you think caused it? Do you think it was season 7? Do you think it's spillover? Do you think maybe the trailers weren't that good for season 8? Do you think maybe the premiere wasn't that good, so people flicked off during, or they just whatever? Or do you think it's just the show's been going for a long time and that's what it is? But still, that's still a huge number, and it's still plenty enough for them to continue the series, I guarantee, with all the merch and everything that it does. Next question is from Natasha Morrison, who says, I think this will be when Rick finds Father Gabriel's body. So this is the red-eyed Rick sequence she's doing a prediction for. She's saying that's a biblical term, and I think it will be Rick reciting Father Gabriel's words to him whilst he's deciding what to do with Negan. So that's her prediction for the red-eyed Rick sequence. So she's predicting that Father Gabriel will die, and I saw a lot of people thinking that Father Gabriel will. If you recall Sasha, she's captured by the Saviors, season 7, and then she's killed in the finale. She kind of commits suicide even to help the survivors, and it actually does kind of work. It actually does kind of help them, right? So that was a good one for her, going out like a hero in the series, very strong for sure. So Father Gabriel, can Father Gabriel make it out of this mess alive? So he's trapped with Negan right now in what looks like some kind of trailer, thing. And he gets the quote about the pants, so the infamous pants, right? So Father Gabriel's pants. So it's funny. So you could probably view it as he's basically captured by Negan. In this one-on-one situation, surrounded by zombies everywhere, I don't think Father Gabriel is probably going to be able to to best Negan or anyway. So he's going to be captured. Really, is what it is. Do I think at some point he'll be able to get away or something like that? Actually, I kind of do. I think you can't really, because they already did that with Sasha, you can't really repeat, storylines. So you can't really have it be like, okay, Sasha was captured and then Sasha dies, Father Gabriel's captured, Father Gabriel dies. it's too, it almost, to me, it would feel like it would be too obvious from a writing perspective. Like, you got to add more to it than that. You got to add a slant or an angle or do something interesting with it. Now, it's pretty early because this is like just happened, but I tend to think maybe they could use him for, bait or something, or leverage against Rick and the others, and kind of send his zombie corpse to him or something like that. And that would be a pretty big death for the season if they were to kill off Father Gabriel. But just to do a prediction, I'll go with, I think he'll get away somehow. I think there'll be somehow he'll get away, or something will happen. He'll be able to get away because they already kind of did that with Sasha, and you don't want to repeat the same kind of thing. But again, I could be wrong. I'm not privy to spoilers for this season yet. Except there's a big one for the mid-season finale that I may do a video on, because I've seen it in like 10 comments already. So it's like I can't pretend like I didn't see it after I saw it. Like a car crash. You can't pretend you didn't see it in comments after you saw it. So maybe we'll get into that. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. So save it for that video, guys, if you've read the spoilers, or if you know. I'll give my thoughts on it tomorrow. Christopher Combs says, did The Walking Dead steal the idea of a zombie mote from Z Nation? Because Z Nation did use a zombie mote. That's true. They certainly did in season 3, I want to say. I believe Murphy's Town had like a zombie mote that went around it. So that's kind of cool to think. I wonder if they actually do watch Z Nation. Maybe it wasn't intentional, but if they even watch Z Nation, maybe they're like, we should do that. It's just, though, that a lot of the ideas you see in Z Nation, you can't really use them in The Walking Dead. Like, you can't have somebody with like a road sign as like a Captain America shield in the zombie apocalypse like you have in Z Nation. Z Nation does things that The Walking Dead just can't do because it's so silly. But last season with the Junkyard Group, we did see the super zombie they had with all the gear, the junk gear all added on. Was it Winslow? Yeah, Winslow. So that was very Z Nation-esque to me. I mean, that was silly and fun and all that good stuff. But that definitely reminded me of like something you'd see in Z Nation for sure. Like, no question about it. So maybe they are. I don't know. But they certainly did have that in Z Nation first. So this is a rare time where we saw them do something in Z Nation first, and then it looks like The Walking Dead is doing something similar afterwards. It could be totally unintentional. It could be totally unrelated. Maybe they just both have the same kind of idea. But The Walking Dead has had so many, novel ideas for zombie apocalypse. Like, the concept of a zombie herd is all Walking Dead. That didn't really exist before in any zombie series. So that was all Kirkman, right, in his original, comics. So there's some great things that The Walking Dead has done. And even if there's something similar, I can't really fault it for that. I mean, Z Nation's done a lot of crazy things over the years, too, now. Because they're into their damn 4th season as well now. And I haven't been doing too many videos for that this year. But, maybe I could do a couple of reviews here and there. It's just been so busy. We'll do one or two more. Sartorial says, people need to use common sense. Why didn't they just shoot Negan there? And then he says, it's a goddamn show. Things don't just happen like that. They need to have a plot. Geez, reasons why they didn't shoot Negan. Number 1, the war would be over right then and there. Number 2, war would be overhyped. Number 3, then the TV show would do a full 180 from the comics. And number 4, it wouldn't even be called a war. It wouldn't even be all out war. So it's true in terms of, now you could say like, okay, well, that's contrived because because you want to have the story fit what would really happen in this situation. Well, I mean, it's always tricky, right? You don't want to make it unrealistic. You don't want to make it like to where it doesn't feel natural. Maybe it would feel natural, but the way I read it is like, because Rick does just try to shoot him. He starts counting, and then he just fires off all these shots. It's pretty close, but there was a little bit of a distance. But you would think with all those guns from that close range, and Negan and the others just kind of came out on the outside, that one of them would at least get hit. At least a little, or at least like in the arm or something. But it did seem like Negan was a little bit injured, and it was pretty exciting to see Rick, try to shoot him afterwards in the part where he's like kind of down behind the thing. So it was pretty exciting to see. But yeah, you're right that you can't, in terms of the story, you can't kill Negan off then and there. It's kind of similar with Sasha last season. It's like, is she going to be able to snipe Negan? Like, no one's going to kill Negan right now. It's middle of all out war. They got a lot of stuff that they got to do first. So Negan has plot armor for at least a little while. But, the easiest solution that I've thought to it is, instead of having him right there on the door, had him come out on top on like a platform above, Now, again, with a TV show, maybe it's as simple as they didn't have one or something. Like, you'd think like, okay, that's all CG, a lot of the stuff above, the windows and all that kind of stuff. But did they have a platform he could have came out on, over top? Because then he could come out looking down. Then if they all shot up at him, he could just kind of, roll back or something. But then you couldn't have the sequence where he gets stuck in the thing and everything like that. So I don't know. It's kind of tricky. Or you could have had them do like in front of him. You could have had like a concrete, slab going down the side of the stairs. So then if they start shooting, he goes down behind the slab, and all the bullets just hit all this concrete, and they don't get through to hit him. So you can do stuff like that. But again, they only have a set amount of time, to finish this. I take it Greg Nicotero. The way I see Greg Nicotero is obviously he's an artistic genius. He makes the best zombies ever that have ever been done in any movie series or anything. He's the best special effects guy, probably one of the best ever for sure, comparing to anybody in movies or anything. But one of the things that maybe he's not a big action guy. Maybe he's not a big, guy where it's like, he thinks about the war and the battle, and he probably tries, but maybe it's not his natural forte. Because you think of people that are naturally artistic, they a lot of times maybe when it comes to like warfare, maybe they're not so like, you get what I'm saying? Like maybe they're a different wavelength than that. They're focused more on kind of the art style of it, and they're not really thinking too much about like maybe the sport aspect of it. Like, where does this person move? Game theory. Where does this guy go? Where does that guy go? Where do these shots go? Where do those shots go? You guys get what I'm saying? I think you can kind of see that in some of if you look at them. But there's one thing you can't deny: the look of his zombies and the look of the things he does is amazing. When you watch Fear the Walking Dead, you can tell right away like the difference between the zoom in season 3 when you see This Sorrowful Life and you see Merle's zombie face and he's chowing down on Ben, versus what you see in something like Z Nation too, but also something like you see in Fear the Walking Dead. It's like a night and day difference. You can it just his zombies and the way he does his shots and everything. The look of it is just, it's amazing, man, and it really adds a lot to the show for sure. As we talked about from the season 4's premiere ratings compared to season 3. Last one will be from Torrid, who says, Trev, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, how much do you think the survivors miss Rosita and Michonne not being part of the first battle or the first barrage of All Out War? And then he says, I think about a 7. So, I mean, I don't personally think it would matter that much. You have two people. Now, Michonne's super badass. Rosita's, I guess she's a pretty good fighter. She's a pretty good shot, that kind of thing. Even though she did hit the bat. See, there's another time when Negan had plot armor, right? Because the bullet doesn't go through the bat. But then again, it's kind of a messed up bullet, but what can you do? So, it doesn't really matter that much. Really, they're shooting a bunch of windows, they're going after them, and then they're waiting for the zombies to get there. Would 2 extra bodies really matter? I don't think so. Did Maggie being there matter? Yes, because Maggie was a presence for the hilltop, and I did really like that change a lot from the comics. I thought that was really good. So it's kind of like Gregory versus Maggie. If Maggie wasn't there, Gregory might have been able to talk some people from the hilltop over. So she made a huge difference being there. But having a couple extra shooters or fighters in this instance, I don't know if it'd make that much of a difference. If you could have a 100% Michonne with her sword, maybe she goes in there and, kamikaze style kill Negan, then maybe that makes a difference. But I tend to think like, no, it probably wouldn't matter that much. Anyway, that'll be it for today's Q&A, guys. We may give our thoughts tomorrow. I usually stay away from spoilers, but this one seems to be all over the place, and it's so early that I'll do like a spoiler warning video for people that want to see it and give my thoughts on these pretty big spoilers that are, or at least one big spoiler that's out there for the mid-season finale. It's like a spoiler prediction, I think. Anyway, we'll get into it tomorrow if we do it, and save your comments for then. Let's keep this comment section spoiler-free if we can, guys. If you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, you want to put on those subscribing pants, I'd appreciate it, and you can do it at the bottom left. That's it for this video, guys. We'll see you again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.